Welcome to Being at Home with George. I'm excited to be here, and let's begin the way we always begin, which is to say yes to life, to embrace whatever's coming up, generate the hope, and make wise choices. Now, and it's interesting because this is a very challenging time that we're in right now. And I've been thinking and reflecting on how to make sense in the middle of chaos. And we talk about the eye of the hurricane, but I also was thinking about this idea that everyone has to figure out for themselves what's right and how do you relate to the situation where there's a lot of confusion and difficulty. And I'm reminded of this idea of what is it going to take to do that. So I think of words like courage, vulnerability, especially this idea of getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And so I talk a lot about that. And so, how do you do that? What's the discipline involved in being able to get comfortable being uncomfortable? And I'm reminded of the fact that we have this ability to be self aware. We can step back and observe things. We can create this ability to have an inclusive, what I call affirmative or intuitive awareness, where we just, it's mirror minded, just seeing what's there. Because to the degree that we can see clearly, we can behave clearly. But it takes discipline to be able to delay gratification. And in this case, I'm talking about being able to embrace discomfort or the pain and not do what the nervous system tends to do, which is avoid it or to deny it. So this idea of having personal responsibility and no excuses, realizing that I have this ability to be self-aware and to self-regulate. It also means self-reflection and reflect on things before, during, and after I do something. The main thing is delaying gratification and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, knowing that it's like an investment, that the delaying gratification means the gratification is going to come, but not now. It's going to come sometime in the future. So we're almost like we're making an investment. But at the same time, we have to be able to what? We have to be able to understand that we have to know the truth and the truth shall make us free. So that means that we have to start analyzing and what assumptions are we making or what's the deterministic screen that we're looking through. So I have on glasses. So we like to talk about being in survival mode or growth mode. We like to talk about being in fear, being in love. And so if I have on the fear glasses, now I got the reptilian brain that's looking for danger, and 9 out of 10 thoughts are going to be negative, and I'm more apt to be reactive and not to be able to have the discipline to say yes to whatever comes up, embrace it, generate the hope, and then create space between stimulus and response so I can choose wisely based on who I say I am, based on my values. But if I'm in growth mode, if I'm in love, if I'm coming from the proverbial glass being half full, now I'm in growth mode or broaden and build theory, and I'm seeing things. I'm looking for the opportunities. I'm seeing things as, okay, what's the lesson? And that's a different psychology. And that's how we're able to be able to just see things and bring as much curiosity and an interest. Like, what is this? How does this work? And bringing that joy of discovery into it. But the idea is I got to see things as they are, not as I want them to be. And that takes something. That means challenging our deterministic screen. Are we in fear or are we in love? Are we reacting? Are we responding? But we can always create a little space. And in that space, we have the freedom and power to choose. So even when we look at difficulty, when we look at pain, as Viktor Frankl says, when we find meaning in suffering, it ceases to be suffering. When we see pain and accept pain, that this is part of life, we get comfortable being uncomfortable, then it's no longer painful.